car and
Yeah.
we stop that. When it starts running, we stop in the phrase.
But we can still have like so it's a small pause, like there's just a brief pause.
Yeah, but after that we don't continue.
Okay, yeah. Now we can.
Well, it depends. It depends on where we are. If we are with
yeah, then we start.
yeah,
So we finish the phrase where it starts running.
Yeah.
And then we start from the beginning.
Yeah, because now it went too long. When you improvise with the dancer, you can see the movement, what they are doing, and you can try to make some music out of that, like how does the movement, how does it sound for you, or like if she does or he does something, then how would you continue that? It's like the dancer, it's a dialogue with the dancer and musician, or they can say something together, and they give me a picture of something how to improvise some. I don't know exactly how to explain it.
Basically, we're looking at two art forms that share a common issue of time, real time, movement, dance, music, composition. And it's really finding a language, a common language between these two art forms and coming together, dialoguing, exchanging, and then finding something where both teams are in agreement and are finding that overall arc where they can work within a time frame. The working day during this workshop begins at 9 o'clock. The dancers have a technical warm-up, movement warm-up, and we had a wonderful Lithuanian dancer who is leading that, Goda. And at the same time, Romana from Latvia is offering a Feldenkrais method workshop for the musicians. And Feldenkrais, it's a kind of body-mind connection and awareness that will help the musicians in their overall sensibility of the relationship with their instruments, with their body, and probably opens the tone of their performance from that experience.
Dance you can play, you can do different games for to train the sensitivity, to train the attention, to concentration, also to be with somebody, or to hear what surrounds the sounds, also to feel the partner. I would remember being a student for the whole life, such a project, and it's so good to have this. Yeah, I hope they understand what is such a great opportunity for them.
I think it's very unique that the students can work together, really having all conditions, having tutors, having that environment for creation and so such a long time. Then they can be together from the first minute they met till the very last minute they will go home. And the other thing is that musicians can go deeper in like small little details, like small movements, which is very important in Feldenkrais method. Do less, do small, do comfortable, do slow. And they are used with the playing, like for instance, violin or cello. They really should sense the very small differences, like angles, little small joints. So I think it was quite good going with them because they are really sensitive to small things in movement.
Now we have a kind of possibility to start redefining new forms of art. And so the opening up the kind of channels and creating maybe untraditional ways of working with a dancer or new ways of working with musicians. That it's not the dancer creates the dance and the musician creates the music and we put them together, or we talk about an idea and then put them together. The possibilities are endless. As in our project, we've created an installation out of dance and music, which is not something I've personally seen before. So it's really kind of interesting here that you have this possibility to actually start to realize how dance and music exist together, and maybe that they're not so dance is dance, music is music. Maybe it's possible that there's a new kind of art form that's on the tip of our tongues or on the brink of our fingers somehow.
In practical terms, this is challenging. It's challenging to come together, and it's not easy, and there can be conflicts and issues of differences of ideas of what time is, of what a gesture is, what motion is, what music is. But in this workshop, I think what has been really remarkable is that in such a short amount of time, I mean really in work time, it's about 7 days maybe, because there was an introduction. These artist students came together from 11 different universities, 8 different countries. That's a lot of diversity, and they have found some common ground to work with each other. And in the 7 projects, we call them, that will be shown in the informal sharing, there is a fantastic, not one piece is the same. And that's also quite a real salute to the students being able to find their own voice.
It's just like when I'm starting to lose it. Yeah.
You can take water break.
Yeah.
I really liked when you got into the beat. That was really cool. And then also when it took up, then you also followed the music.
Just like when I
Yeah, it's like
shaking, like more. Yeah.
And then like take it up a little, so we get more contrast if you
Yeah.
take out the 3 duets. So your becomes more like powerful.
Yeah.
Because the first is very like down here, and then Victoria has this thing, and then you can.
Yeah.
So like maybe,
Yeah.
so it's free improvisation with pulse.
Yeah. Do you remember like approximately what you did then?
I have an idea of like, where to go from, you know. I think
I'll
that's
try to remember how.
You have to always reflect on why are you doing this, what are you doing. You always have to have a thought behind it. Sometimes I also think it's good that it's just dance, that is not really a big thought, but often it's nice that you really thought through what you're doing and that there is a meaning or a purpose. It doesn't have to be like big or like political or changing the world, but just like you have an intention and there's some sort of meaning to what you're doing. I think that is very important in contemporary and modern dance, and especially if you're wanting to work creatively and make your own pieces, then it's very critical that you are able to reflect and discuss and with other people as well.
Just trying out new ideas.
Yeah, I understand. Where's it? Okay.
The idea is that the dance can be seen and can be listened as music, because the body is also an instrument, and they have their inner music and inner pulsation. So we are going that the music and dance is communicating, and they are partners and going to the dialogue, not like dances leading by music. And also for dancers and musicians to come as close as possible. So it's not only dance and music, it's about the dramaturgy of the piece, it's about the timing and about the spaces. And we were searching for the innovation, about the new, to go for new ideas, for nothing what is not done, for new experience.
No! After this,
project is, or this piece is about the concept or the idea of game as such, and I mean, we ask ourselves the question, what is a game? I mean, a game is basically a set of rules which everyone agrees to follow before the game, and then we were kind of like playing with the idea, and eventually it led up to this pretty, let's just say, mystical aspect of it, that if the game has ended, what will happen when the participants actually refuse to exit the game? They just want to keep playing. So this is like this idea that we're kind of playing with.
And then this workshop that we are doing is to start, to see the relationship with new eyes, with young people starting, how can we do this in a different way, but also understand the possibilities that have been used before. And with this collaboration, we want to show that this interaction between music and dance is very important. Sometimes we start to forget it because in postmodern art, this is of the relationship is not always regarded as very important.
The musicians, we have one composer in each group and one choreographer, and then we have 3 to 4 dancers and the musician are then switching and going around to all the groups. So there is also like 3 or 4 musicians in every group. So that's how we do it.
More sense how composers composing their music, because I thought maybe it could be easier, but when I saw that it's not that easy that I expect. And I think also sometimes people think that to make dance is very fast. You can do it very fast and that's it, but there's a lot of work, and the hardest work is to collaborate, like really collaborate. Yeah, it's not that easy, but it's challenging, really nice. And I really enjoy that, dancing with musicians. Yeah.
But maybe it could be better that you are not really close. You can go more because I need to say I was like where's your hand? Here. So you are like far. Yeah, and you can for her because she doesn't have space. And you can also shorter steps. She feels that she wants to make bigger steps.
Everything is happening in a really, really short time amount, so it's become sometimes crazy for my mind. And sometimes it's very interesting how musicians dance. It's also like different word, and how to learn them dance steps. It's really another world. Now I learn how to talk with them, and I learn in what kind of ways they are thinking. So I think when I like to make some kind of dance piece in the future, so I already will know how to work with them, how to understand them.
It's getting there. It's slowly getting there. But I would really like, this image. I miss it, from the film. I love when every time you speak French and then, I have to kiss her arms, and then you do like that. I think that image is wonderful to put in the tango or as a transition. The first 2 days I had the musician, and Kim, my colleague, he has the dancers. So I gave the musicians some skills. How is a choreographer thinking? And he went on with how to the dancers, how a musician are thinking. And then we start with the project on the 3rd day.
like theater as well at the same time, and you have to be an actor and dancer and a musician at the same time. So that's really, really interesting.
It's like an aha or like a relief every time, you know, one scene get through and then now it works. And it's like the musician can hear, okay, there the music was. And the dancer can also feel when it works. Everybody is just standing there getting, oh, nothing is working, what can we do? And then suddenly there's a breakthrough, and that's breakthrough, it's so lovely to work on. And see the students when things are getting through, and then finally, this is it.
And then, when they are doing pause, it will be, you see Caroline is from she's doing and they all together, and then what you are doing. So boom,
Or at the same time, we do that. Pa.
No.
After.
Boom.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Raimonda, you want?
No.
Okay, so let's try. And then we will keep on going, and you will try to. So girls, you now have to be loud, because what I like about dancers and choreographers, because we have our own language. And for example, if I want to explain something for dancers, I don't have to say, you have to do this and that and da. I can just say, you know, this is like something about and go, and then and they understand it.
this my piece, I am thinking about the whole, not only mass media, but the whole things that makes us pregnant, that fulfills us. For example, we can't escape from commercials, we can't escape from news that always you get one news and others, everything goes in our heads, even we don't want to. And that's how we are fulfilled with the whole information, and that's why we start to be pregnant. Or we can be like pregnant. We can be pregnant with our own ideas that we want to let to the world, that we have some fixed idea and I am growing it inside me like a baby, and when it's time, I just let it go to the world, just releasing it. And it's coping with it, trying to really let go, because sometimes we don't do this. Sometimes we just stick at one place and we're not moving at all. And I think very good thing is just sometimes just to go away.
Eliminate the multiculturalism that has affected Madonna is smoking. The possibility of corruption is increasing. Madonna is smoking. Madonna is smoking. There's a million Orlando's who are in a big fight. Eliminate all the Swedish people. The Swedish people's not the only thing.
We are working both with abstract thing. One is taking about the sun, how it rises in the morning, and you're only a little bit in the light, and then it goes during the day, and then the shadows get longer when the sun starts to go down. And so we have just abstract pieces, and we have one narrative piece about the Addams Family, the television show, and we have one about where the women are pregnant, but their pregnancies actually is a metaphor for delivering an idea. So they are delivering an idea. And then we have the last piece is about the city map, how life is in the city, waiting for the bus, and some more illustrating. So we have all things: abstract, non-abstract, narrative. Yeah.
I have really good team. I'm really happy of my dancers and also of my composer Togi. I'm really happy of them, and this is really nice to have a really nice team and to feel how you are creating one direction.
On this stage, the students will be presenting themselves, and there's going to be a large audience, and it's really about a sharing. What the audience will not see is that long process that's happened over the 7 days, and they're going to have to suspend their conscious that this is like a theater situation and just imagine and thinking about that these students came together last week at zero, not knowing each other, not ever meeting before, and they've made actually this quite remarkable evening of work.
Everything is dance, actually. It's expressing yourself through your body. I think that is something that we as a social society, human beings, have forgotten. To express ourselves through body. We are so much about texting and text and maybe pictures, but we forget about the real-time interactions with each other.